There we are. I barely did this live, guys. You have no idea. I was putting so much energy and effort into it. And at like 6 minutes in, I was like, shoot, it's on mute. So I'm going to recap it and simplify it. So hopefully this is even better and gives you more value. Now, today we're going to be talking about competing to complete. Competing to complete. Now, when you are in the competition mode, it's not just, hey, I'm going to show up. It's, I am going to absolutely focus. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to focus so hard that whatever happens, I'm going to finish the race. Now, I have an experience here that I want to share with you guys. And I'm going to ask you a question at the very end of it that I think will be very impactful. And no, I'm building a story series right now, and I want to hear some feedback from you about what type of stories you're most interested in. So here's the story. You ready for this? I'm going to take you back. I was in high school and I just joined the cross country team. It was early morning. This was our very first meet. They called this the grass relays because in the grass relays, we had to wake up at the butt crack of dawn. It was super early. There was still dew on the golf course. I had just gotten my brand new spikes. They basically were these beautiful shoes that were with needles at the base, with kind of like cleats. But as I tied my shoes, I was getting ready. I was so focused. I was like, no matter what, I'm going to finish this race. I'm going to do my very best. And my goal was I want to finish under 20 minutes. Please help me finish under 20 minutes. And the gun went off and I started running. And when you start off in cross country, you have no idea how far you actually are because there's just a mob of people, like dozens and dozens of people. We probably had 300, 400 people in that, just running as fast as I could, and got to the middle of the pack. About halfway through, I realized I did not double knot my shoes. And every time I started to take these little turns, it was wet and all the dew would gather up and it made my shoes slip. And multiple times I was like, I'm going to lose my shoe. And the end of this race, the last 3/4 of a mile, they have this long stretch and then you go around these trees and you come back. So you can see the finish line, like the last 3/4 of the mile. So as I'm running as fast as I can, my shoe falls off. And I was like, no, I'm not going to finish this race. Should I go back and pick it up? It's going to be even slower. And I have this conundrum. Do I stop what I'm doing, go get that shoe, or do I keep going? And I decided, you know what? Without a shoe, I'm just going to keep going. And I ran and I made that turn. The last half of the opening stretch, my other shoe flips off. And I was like, but I was just bearing down and I ran as fast as I could. And I remember at the end of this grass relay, they have a big open area for the final finish line. And I like dove past it because I slipped. And I finished the race. I had passed a handful of people on that final stretch without spikes on. And I wanted to share this story because sometimes it's about completing more than it is about how competitive you are. And I said compete to complete because this is something that when you are willing to get in the arena, you're willing to do the work, you're willing to go and make sure that it's not just showing up, but no matter what happens, your shoes fall off, you fall over, you are still going to finish that race. Now, today, I want to ask you this question. What are some of the stories that you want to hear? What are you most interested in as far as being able to connect with me, with other people? If there is a specific type of story that you're struggling telling, I want to unlock those stories. I want to be able to connect stories for you and be able to have you level up in your mindset, your skill set, and your tool set. And I love exploring patterns of progress. So as I'm building out this success story experience with people, I want to hear from you. I want to know, what are you most interested in hearing about? What are the things that you want to know? And if there is a specific type of concept, like, man, I've heard you talk about this before. Can you elaborate? How did you learn that? I'm more than happy to share. One of the types of stories that I absolutely love is Chinese backed stories, things that are idioms. And I take those idioms and I do my best to make sure that they apply to business and real estate using lifestyle, community systems, admiration, proof, all these different frameworks to make it valuable to you. And I love interviewing amazing people. This last week, I had Pierce Woodward on the podcast, which was so much fun. We were able to talk about different series, and it got me thinking. I was like, I haven't done a storytelling series yet, and I'm a success story strategist. Why not share some really great stories? So I have a list of stories that I think would be extremely helpful, but I want to hear what types of stories you're most interested in. Are you interested in failures? Are you interested in conversation-based stories, things that are funny anecdotes? Are you interested in things that will help move the needle in sales or in short-term rentals? What are the things that you feel most passionate about? That's what I want to hear from you. So tell me some of the things that are most impactful for you as far as social media, as far as getting on here and connecting with me and with other people. What are the things that you are looking for? Because I want to deliver. I want to over deliver on that. I've got a ton of great stories, so make sure you keep sticking in and paying attention, because there's going to be a lot more value to come. Hit that like and subscribe button, because check this out, guys. You got to like and subscribe to the podcast to get all the value out of it. There's multiple ways that we can connect, but when you go to YouTube, you can go and hear so many different stories. I'm going to continually add value to you guys. I've got multiple ways that I've been able to extrapolate value from the experiences that I've had and the experiences that I've had with other people. And I want to condense it in a way that allows you to be able to share your story, so you can start to reminisce and figure out, what are those moments in my life that will make the biggest impact? What are those parts in my life that I need to story mine, because there's golden nuggets in them mountains of your mind? Find those stories that you can share. I do my best to unearth some of those stories when I interview people, and I want to make sure I over deliver. So if you have some ideas of things that you're most interested in as far as storytelling, what are some of the struggles you're having, make sure in the comments that you share. And remember to like and subscribe to Leveling Up Podcast. Once again, God bless, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and God bless.